Good afternoon. It is Barbara, the East Coast Dragon Lady, coming to you again on Sunday. As I promised yesterday, I would come back and talk about archangels and dragons. And last week, the dragons led me to use this 22 archangels, to pick the archangels, and then to connect with them to see what dragons are working with them, or what dragons, or whether they shapeshift into dragons. So I said at the end of my video yesterday that I still need to do some work, and when I went back to what I'd been writing, I'd actually got some information, and I felt that that was enough to share right now. I think if I look in the next coming months, there may be more information to come, but I think, and I'm realizing that when I work with these collectives, that I will get, like a paragraph worth of information, and they're like, that's enough for now. So the dragons that I've already connected, or the archangels with the dragons, and all of these dragons came forward really quickly. So when I first looked at Archangel Shamuel, and I don't know why he is, oh, I know, because yeah, so it's because I actually connected with my Atlantis dragon Hercules, and he said that he works with Shamuel because he is the dragon with superpowers. His name is Hercules, and he comes in on the blue ray, that sort of higher frequency that the archangel. So the dragons are telling me they can jump onto different rays, and he's coming in on that blue ray. Not surprisingly, Sandalphon, Archangel Sandalphon, who came to me a while ago to connect with dragons. And as you can see, there's all these beautiful rainbows. So it was the rainbow dragon. And he says that he is the rainbow dragon, and there's also a rainbow unicorn that is connected with Sandalphon. And that's the rainbow dragon, and that's building bridges. So Sandalphon is known as the building bridges, and that's the rainbow bridge, the connection with heaven and earth. So I just paused because I said, so I was saying that Sandalphon is the rainbow bridge building. I just went to the book, and he also is the co-brother, or his brother is Metatron, and that is this beautiful. I love both of these archangels, and your role is to create a connection between heaven, earth, and all hearts. So yesterday I was talking a lot about love and hearts, and I've actually, interestingly, I saw people posting on Facebook last night around hearts appearing to them. So definitely there. But yeah, so I prefer to connect with the dragons, but I just wanted to make sure I was correct. So it is our role, or his role, and he helps us make the connection with the other side, if that's what you want to call it, or people that have crossed the rainbow bridge. He also works with animal communicators that connect with our loved animals that have passed to the other side. And what else am I picking up? So this rainbow dragon and Sandalphon work closely together. And again, the dragon says he comes in on these rainbow colors, the ones that I've pointed out before that we see in the sky, that don't have no beginning and end, and they just appear. So they're not like the traditional rainbow. We'll see part of it in the sky. That's Sandalphon, that's the rainbow dragons, that's the collective that I work with. So that's Sandalphon. Metatron, he's the dragon connected with Metatron says he is the dragon of angels. And this is again, Metatron works with, again, us connecting either heaven to earth or earth to heaven. His what he says here is, your current situation is in alignment with your mission here on earth. So there's quite a few people that he is their guide, and he speaks directly with them. Amanda Ellis is one of them who I follow, who's from England. And in my oracle deck, there is a whole page from the Dragon of Angels, and I'll actually pull that. So I was so anxious to jump on here, I forgot to get so my oracle deck is the Ancient Intergalactic Guardians, Dragons of the Multiverse, and the Guardian Angel of Dragons wants to bring you hope, healing, and joy today. This dragon wants you to know that you are never ever alone. Open your heart to receive. On days that you might doubt, remember this: angels and dragons work together in the background of our lives. They have slightly different frequencies and both have such big hearts and are joining together today to bring you love. If you doubt being loved unconditionally, the Dragon of Angels wants you to remember that you are always, always loved and always cared for. Open your hearts, they say. You will feel the lightness of our touch and energy entering your heart. Be on the lookout for signs from us. We leave them everywhere. Open your hearts. So I'm sure lots of you have stories of if you ask for a message from angels or from the other side. Feathers are very common, white feathers. But I think, and I may have shared this before, but my father, many, many years ago, I started seeing pennies, like odd pennies around the house. And then I was at, I can't remember where I was, but I was at a psychic fair, and I remember I was there with some products that I was selling, and there was a psychic sitting behind me, and she, when there was a lull, she said, do you have somebody on the other side? And I said, yes. And she said, well, he's here now, and he's telling me that he leaves you pennies around your house. And he goes, wait a minute, it's your dad. And I'm like, oh my goodness, there's like so many pennies around my house. And she said, he's trying to get your attention. So when you see them, like, acknowledge him. So for the longest time, for many, many years, my father has been gone sort of 40 plus years. And I will still, like, and they're in odd places. They're not like they've just fallen out of somebody's pocket. And sometimes there's like a lot of them. And I always pick them up and say, thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. And then a few months ago, my son came and told me that my father had been trying to connect with me. And apparently I wasn't paying attention. So it was a bit like my younger son, he's very psychic. He said, your dad wants to speak to you. So it was a bit like, pick up the phone and talk to Dad. So I'm like, okay, what do you want? And what he wanted to share with me was that I would not see so many pennies. And that would, the reason being that he said, it's time for me to come back down. And I was like, come back down? And he's like, yeah, it's time for me to be reincarnated. It's time. And it means that you'll always be able to connect with me, because you're always going to connect with that energy, but you won't see so many pennies. And the funny thing is, there's been very few pennies. So I believe that message. So wherever you are, Dad, I'm still connected to you. So the last Archangel that wanted me to give a message today is Michael. And he usually comes through when we accelerate our spirituality. And actually, he had quite a bit to say to me yesterday. So he's the chief of angels, of the angel realm. So it's the master dragon that comes through. So he is the master dragon, and he is a shapeshifter. He reminds me of Merlin. Mainly people see him as an archangel, but he will shapeshift. Again, he's on the blue ray, blue flame. Lots of spiritual upgrades when you connect with him. good versus evil. He is a protector. He's the Prince of Light, and he loves that violet blue flame. Often when I see him, I will see him as that connecting, again, heaven to earth. So these are all they're all archangels, so they're all angels. And I like, this is Carl Gray's version, and I also have this card that I have sat on my altar for a long time. It's Sunny Dawn Johnson, about Archangel Michael. He who is like God. Michael is the archangel of protection, guidance, and strength. He helps with direction, self-esteem, motivation, courage, commitment, faith, energy, vitality, and life's purpose. Brilliant blue, and the gemstone is lapis lazuli. Makes sense. The blue, you see it here as well. So lots of blue. Metatron I see it with a lot of purple and lilacs and the rainbow. So lots of beautiful colors. And as I've said before, dragons are very vibrant, very colorful, and certainly the ones I work with, as I've said before, they chose the Crayola palette, and said, these are all our colors. So that's what I have today. I am going to be doing more archangels and dragons. I'm doing this because they asked me to do it, but I'm finding it very interesting. I said the other day that most things I know about dragons, they've taught me, because you can't go and Google a whole lot of this stuff. So you may have different connections. You may have connected archangels and dragons. That doesn't mean that you're right and I'm wrong, or I'm wrong and you're right. It's what works for us. And these are what my dragons are saying, who they're connecting with. And, we're all in this learning together. So it's exciting times, and I hope you all have a great week. It's cold and raining here. I always seem to give a weather forecast when I come on here. It's chilly today. It's raining. We're part of the country that does need rain. I know there's lots of parts of the country that do not need rain, but we do need it here. So have a good day. I actually have Dragon Hour coming up in about an hour and a half, 12:30, 1:30, an hour and a half. Casca from England and I are going to be talking dragons, dragon Reiki, and anything else that comes up in the hour. I'm sure the dragons are going to be, actually mine are already here. They're excited about this conversation. It will be recorded and it will be up on, the one from Friday and today's will be up on YouTube. If not today, they'll be up on Monday. So I hope you all have a good day, and enjoy the long weekend. Here in Massachusetts, we have a long weekend. We have Columbus Day, so it's a day off for me. So have a good one.